So the charity's name, Vive La Vallette, was all about breathing life into the bathing pools and the site as a whole, and we continue to be as ambitious and excited about the project.
I've got quite an affinity with the bathing pools because I learned to swim here, and I've always viewed it as a particularly special site. So I thought it was an interesting challenge, spoke to one or two people, got a team together, and I suppose the overriding vision was to turn it into a thriving community space and do the site justice. And I think 15 months after opening, I think it's achieved all of that and more.
I think this is one of the most stunning views the island has, and I didn't used to swim in the bathing pools before. Now I do.
There are lots of people in the Swim All Seasons group, which I'm part of, who are on their own, and the group just sort of takes away the isolation. Like coming down here to the pools, you can come down in the cafe on your own and you don't feel as if you're on your own. You're part of a community.
So I can see relationships being formed and that interaction developing between the users of the space. So that, in a sense, is really indicating that we are building community.
I spent a lot of my childhood down here when I was with my friends. We used to sit down the back there, swimming all day, go home for tea, ride back on the push bike and swim again in the evening. I literally lived here. And then as I grew up and got older and different things came along, and I didn't come here anymore. But the first time I came down here since it's been rejuvenated and done up, I couldn't believe it. It was great, absolutely great. And I've been coming ever since, so it's brought me back.
We don't have a monopoly on all the ideas as to how we can make best use of this space. So we welcome input from others. We want local charities to use the space, and many have already done so. And I see it as an increasingly attractive feature going forward, that more and more charities and other organisations will see the potential of the overall facility.
The facilities have allowed us at the Guernsey Sports Commission to employ Alan Jenner as our outdoor and adventurous aquatics development officer. That's integral to developing a water safety strategy that Guernsey has never had before. The facilities obviously allow for both theoretical and practical elements of that water safety programme.
And I bring schools down here, I bring individuals down here, I teach down here in the summer. We live on an island, and water safety is got to be front and centre of any island community. And the resources here just allow me to provide just an excellent safe experience for all range of age groups.
Of course, the Vallette has been popular for years and years, but there was definitely a dip in usage, and the new building and the facilities has drawn people back to it in their droves, which is really great to see.
This is a free space. You don't have to come and buy something from the cafe. You can come in, use the changing rooms, use the pools, sit. You don't have to necessarily be paying lots of money, and I think that's something that's so lovely about this place.
But it's somewhere where I can enjoy and they can enjoy as well. That is a great thing as well, isn't it? All the generations can enjoy it. It's such a lovely place to be.
My mum loves coming here. She's a little frail, so accessibility is fundamental. And that was always a key part of the development, that it would be accessible for all ages, all abilities. It's just a fun, welcoming place.
Venues like this, definitely, the accessibility part of it is fabulous. The fact that you can get a wheelchair all the way down to the water. This is amazing for the island, and both in terms of tourism and locals.
It's so close to town, it's so accessible. People can come down anytime during their lunch, after work, in the morning.
I would say that we're on the right path with what we've done already, and the feedback from others has been really positive. But of course, we can't rest on our laurels, and we can't imagine that we've captured every person on the island in terms of inviting them and encouraging them down here to use the place.
I think sea swimming, obviously because we live on an island, has always been part of Guernsey life. The fact when you create a facility like this, it means it becomes even easier. Not everyone feels confident in going off a beach, not everyone feels confident with the movement of our tides, etc. Having a facility like this and taking advantage of the safety of the pools really means that I think it's encouraged a lot more people to swim.
Well, they talk about the endorphins, something very much that's a feature of cold water swimming in particular, but it's just fabulous when you're in the water. It's you and the sea, and nothing else really seems to matter.
When you talk about blue health, the environment that we live in is ultimate when it comes to mental health, and there is an irrefutable connection between mental well-being and the ocean and water. You've just got to look at the smiles on people's faces. It's almost like a spell has been cast.
I started last year in June. It gives me something, an incentive, something to do. I talk with other people and they say, oh, but you feel so good afterwards. Yes, everyone is so pleasant. I look forward to it. I feel really good.
Sometimes I like to come for a swim and get myself showered and then sit down to work, and I find those are especially productive days if I can brave the sea.
It's just incredibly gratifying to see them doing it in such a relaxed environment where the food is affordable, the views are unrivaled, and the welcome is pretty all right too.
And it is a family place
Yeah.
for all the generations, you know. We bring the little kids who are 2 and the grandparents, you know, we all come down and...
Winter, summer,
Yeah.
it's a lovely place to be.
Yeah.
We love it. Yeah.
So many things to do, whether you go for a swim or not. I'm not a swimmer, but Lex definitely
I'm
is.
the crazy one.
But, you know, we just play with the football and play in the rocks.
In the pool today, say on a hot summer's day, you're seeing kids with their floats and brownies having their swims and stuff. It's really quite a joy to see when you're working in the cafe, to see everyone down here and just having a really fun time.
So looking to the future, we recognise this area as being the most fantastic outdoor classroom. It has opportunities and scope for young people and all the generations to learn about marine life, the history, the geography. We look forward to the place becoming more of a site for educational opportunities.
There's a lot of fears that people have about the open water. If we can get them past the fears that they may have of dark water, of seaweed, of crabs and things in the ocean, then they're going to have that exposure to a world-class environment.
I think what we're doing here is improving people's lives, and that has a ripple effect across our community. I think that people are looking after themselves really well by coming here and interacting with one another, and I think those ripples in the pond will be felt for many years ahead.